Hello everyone. In this video we are going to identify if an equation is a direct variation, and if it is, we're going to solve for the constant of the variation. So for this one here, y equals 5x, we are talking about m being a 5, which is the slope, and b is 0. So we say this is a direct variation. For the next one, we are going to solve for the y. And I know that for a fact that this is 8x plus 2y equals 0. This looks like a direct variation to me. So I'm going to just go ahead and go through solving for the constant of variation. So that constant is going to be just like the slope. So this is 2y equals negative 8x plus 0. And when you're going to solve, we're going to actually divide by 2. Divide by 2 on both sides. Y equals negative 4x. And yes, that is a direct variation. So we have this third one, which is y equals 3/4 x, 3/4 over 3/4 x minus 7. So the slope is 3/4, and the b, which is the y-intercept, which is supposed to go through the origin, is negative 7. So that's what makes that not a direct variation. I'm just going to tell you this one here. You see that 0? Right away, I think this is a direct variation right away. If you're going to solve for it, though, which is what the directions tell you to do, you would minus 6x on both sides. And we are going to cancel this. We get negative 3y equals negative 6x. And you're going to divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. And you get y equals 2x. So the k equals 2. And that is a direct variation. For this one, I'm going to say not a direct variation. And I'm saying that because it has numbers here. There's no 0 for the y-intercept. So we're just going to minus x on both sides. And remember, I'm saying this is not a direct variation because there are no zeros like this one. This cancels. We get negative 3y equals negative x plus 6. And we're going to divide by negative 3. This y comes down, equals 1/3 x minus 2. That's when the division here is the 1. Negative 1 over negative 3 is 1/3. So this, like I said, is not a direct variation because, again, it has a y-intercept of negative 2. The y-intercept for direct variation always has to be 0. All right, one more. I'm going to say this is a direct variation. So we're just going to minus the 3x on both sides. And we're going to see that we have that 0 there, that I know it is a direct variation right off the bat without even solving for it. But if they want you to solve, you have to know how to solve for this, for y equals mx plus b. Remember, when you have a negative y, you're going to have to divide that by negative 1 to get rid of that negative. And we're going to cancel out the negatives, and we're going to get y equals 3x. And that is a direct variation with a constant of 3. So direct variation with a constant of 3. And we'll put that k down as 3. K is the same thing as slope. All right, we have an m of 3 and a y-intercept of 0. Okay, the ordered paths in this example are the same direct variation, or for the same direct variation. Find each missing value. So pretty easy here. Just remember, direct variation must be in proportion with each other. So if you could see that this 3 goes to the 6, that's times 2. That means 2 would have to be 4, right? So just remember, all of the points have to be in proportion with each other. So if you divide y and x and you get 2/3, that means this right here would have to be the same, 4/6. So there's different ways to do it. You could see the multiples right there, or you could do it just by y equals, and I'm just going to put that down. Remember, any proportion, any direct variation is in proportion with each other. I'm writing the wrong thing. It is k, the constant, is y divided by x. So if you take x and y, and you divide it, you take 2 and divide it by 3, you get 0.6. Now you could take 6, you could take y and divide it by 6, or you could just go, okay, you could times 6 by 0.6, and you will get this as an answer as 4. All right, so either way, it's fine. I would do it, honestly, if you're kind of looking at this, I would just easy 3 goes to 6 by multiplying by 2, and then 2 times 2 would be 4. So that would be 3 comma 2, and 6 comma 4. And you could check it out. 2 divided by 3 is 0.6 with a line on top. And then 4 divided by 6, y divided by x, is the same constant. And that works out. This one right here, -2 to x, you don't know what that is. And then 8 to 12. Let's see what that could give you. So 8 times what equals 12? And just let me go back to the first one. Just remember, y, this is x, right? And this is y. This is easier. I would think this is an easier way to actually set up a proportion. So 2 divided by 3 is 2/3 equals y divided by 6. And then cross multiply. 3 times y is 3y. And then 6 times 2 is 12. You divide by 3. And I think this is a little bit easier of a method where y equals 4. So I would set up a proportion. Remember, since you're told that it is a direct variation, you are saying that these points have to be in proportion. That's why the multiple thing works. But remember, y divided by x equals y divided by x. Then you go 8 times x, which is 8x, you cross multiply, and this is equal to -24, -2 times 12. You divide by 8, and easy peasy, x equals -3. And that's it. Find each missing value. So for the data table, in the table, tell whether y varies directly with x. Well, remember, these are, I think, the most difficult out of all of them. All of those direct variation questions, just remember there's 2 things. Direct variation must go through 0, 0, and the points must be proportional. So check to see if the points are proportional. So this one here is 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. We're dividing, remember, the k equals y divided by x. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And then 20 divided by 10 is 2. So yes, this is a direct variation. The equation is y equals 2x, and it's just 2x because the equation is has a y-intercept of 0. So let's go ahead and do y divided by 3. So negative 2 over negative 3 is a positive 0.6 with a line on top. Then 2 divided by 3 is also 0.6 with a line on top. And 6 divided by 9, these are all proportional. It's 0.6 with a line on top. Is this a direct variation? Yes, it is. And then you could put y equals, I'm going to put 2/3 because it's better as a fraction, 2/3 x. Let's see if this is a direct variation or not. Negative 2 divided by negative 6, that is positive 0.3 with a line on top. 2 divided by 6 is the same thing, 0.3, the line on top. And then 6 divided by 18 is 1/3, which is 0.3 with a line on top. And yes, this is a direct variation. What I would say is y equals negative 1/3, sorry, positive 1/3 x. And that's it. All direct variations. So obviously this right here, this equation is a direct variation. We're going to divide by 6 to get the y alone. So this is y equals negative 2x. Is this a direct variation? Yes, it is. And it says justify your answer. Let's go ahead and graph it first, and then we'll justify. We are going to graph 0, 0 as a first point, because that's what the y, so the m is negative 2 over 1. That is down and to the right, and b equals 0. So down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. Yes, this is a negative slope. And then up 2 to the left, up 2 to the left. And you can see that this line goes through 0, 0. And is linear. So those two conditions, if they have those two conditions where they're straight and it goes through the origin, that means it's a direct variation. Okay, so this is a function. This function is linear and goes through the origin. So you can see that the graph is straight and goes through 0, 0. It is a direct variation. So which table of values does not show a direct variation? Let me zoom this out so the whole page is on the screen. So I am going to, which one does not show a direct variation? What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide y and x. I'm going to test to see which coordinates are proportional. If they're proportional, that means it's a direct variation. If they're not proportional when I'm dividing y and x, that means it is not a direct variation. And so you could see that when I divide y and x, this is a dv. This is 24 divided by 2 is 12. And then I could stop right here. This is 3. This is not a direct variation. You do not have to go any further. All right, so that's which one does not show a direct variation. 2 is your answer. So you can see that all of them, I tested out the y divided by x, got the constant for each one. Obviously, number 2, the constant changed from 12 divided by 4 is 3. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So I knew right away that was not the direct variation. And that's about it. If an object is hung on a spring, the elongated spring varies directly as the mass of the object. Varies directly, meaning a direct variation. A 20 kg object increases the length by exactly 7.2. The nearest tenth of a centimeter. How much does a 32 kg object increase the length of the same spring? So pretty, well, not easy, but remember, these things are supposed to be in proportion with each other. So what you do is that it varies directly. That is telling you that this is a direct variation. And since it is a direct variation, that means I could set up a proportion to solve for the missing side or the missing length of the same spring. So I could put 7.2. It doesn't matter what you put up top, as long as you set up the proportion correctly. But since I put centimeters over kg, all right, length of the same spring, x over 32. And that's kg. So centimeters is what I'm trying to find here. Now when I'm going to cross multiply, I get 20x equals, and I'm going to bring up my calculator, 7.2 times 7.2 times 32. Yep. And I get 230.4. All right, so divide by 20, and we'll see what x comes out to be. But just remember, you have to have the length rounded to the nearest whole. So that's 230.4 divided by 20, and we'll see what it comes out to be, 11.52. All right, so we have this right here as your answer, but it says nearest tenth, not nearest whole. So this is x equals 11.5 centimeters. And that is your final answer to the nearest tenth. And that's it. Again, like if you had these and you put 20 over 7.2, then you would have to put 32 over x. And it would be the same thing. Just remember, when you set up a proportion, it has to be kind of matching up those corresponding lengths or sides. And then you'll be good. And that is it for this video, short video, 20 minutes. Everything here as far as a direct variation goes, just remember y divided by x will get you the constant, which is the slope. And that's it. Remember, the constant has to be the same throughout, because a direct variation has all points. All points x and y are directly in proportion with each other. If that's not the case, then it's not a direct variation. And that's it. Thank you for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time.